So tonight, what I want to do is tell you guys a story. And to tell the story, I've got to take you back in time to 1968. Before my time. But I guess I'll start with the good news. Good news is that there was some good music then. There were some top hits from the Beatles, Rolling Stones, Johnny Cash, which was the Folsom Prison album recorded in front of prisoners, which the more I think about it, doesn't seem like a totally safe idea, but that's okay. But it was a year known for a lot of bad things, as many of you know. It was the deadliest year in the Vietnam War. There was political assassinations, MLK, RFK, and there was just turmoil, violence, unrest in many American cities throughout the year. But then came December, and in order to keep up with the Soviets in the space race, NASA moved up its Apollo 8 mission to December to happen before the end of the year. And Apollo 8 would be a mission of many firsts. The first time man would orbit the moon, first time man would see the dark side, or the far side of the moon, and what I'll be talking about a little bit more, the first ever live TV broadcast from space. So that's interesting. And when we think about NASA, we think they're very prepared, very organized, they know what they're doing at all times. So it might surprise you that they didn't give the green light to that whole TV broadcast until just 4 weeks before the mission. So I guess as anyone would, the astronauts were wondering, well, NASA, what exactly should we say during the live TV broadcast? What message do you have? Probably something very profound, something that just matches this moment in history. To which NASA responded, just say something appropriate. So with those detailed instructions, the astronauts attempted to draft what could be the perfect words, but they had a little bit, busy day job, so they had to pass that on to people whose job it was to write. So writers, poets, people whose job it is to put the perfect words to iconic moments in history. But even they couldn't find the right words, at least until one of their wives, she was coming down the stairs, and she found her husband, who was a writer, trying again, as he did many nights, trying to draft these perfect words to these astronauts, and he just couldn't come up with it. And as if she knew all along what the perfect stuff was, she said, why don't you just have him start from the beginning? And once she explained that, he liked it, he sent it to the astronauts, and they knew that they had the perfect words. And those words were written onto fireproof paper, stored away, and with 3 astronauts were launched into space on top of the most powerful machine humans had ever built up to that point. And that's why on Christmas Day, December 25th, 1968, the largest live human audience ever, 1 billion people listening live, heard 3 men flying through space, starting from the very beginning and reading the following. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening and there was morning on the first day. And God said, let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. And God made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse. And it was so. And God called the expanse heaven. And there was evening and there was morning the second day. And God said, let there be waters under the heavens. Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let dry land appear. And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God saw that it was good. And so when I was thinking about it, I said, well, maybe only from 239,000 miles away from Earth, a distance in which you can cover up the entire Earth with just your thumb. Maybe from that distance, one can even begin to fully grasp the love that God has for his creation and how desperately mankind is in need of his love. As it's written in John, for God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that he might be saved, that they might be saved through him. If there's anything we can do for you tonight to help you be saved through Jesus Christ, let us know now as we stand and sing.